Hey guys, welcome back to Am I Doing This Wrong? We have a very special episode for you today. It's not just your gals. The one, the only Jose has arrived.
Hello, everybody. Yes.
So you guys know we have talked about Jose probably just about every episode. And here he is in all of his fabulous glory.
Yeah.
So happy I could be here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. First things first, we are checking in. So, Jose, how are you?
Hi. Hello, everybody out there. I'm doing well today. So happy to be here. So excited. I've been waiting for my debut on this podcast. So definitely good feelings, good vibes going on right now.
Yes. Love that. So happy for you to be here.
I know. Initially, Jose wanted a whole segment called the Jose Expose. So we're just going to throw that out there because if you love him, if you want him back, we'll get through it and bear it and bring him back. No.
Oh, we're still doing that.
See, yes, give them a taste of what we get every day. Please let the people know.
They want it, and I have to serve it.
Well, how about you, Ryann? How are you?
It's been a good day. Good week. I'm excited. It's been a while since we've had a guest on the podcast. And so it was so fun the last time we did it. And even with all our side hustle summer shorts, we usually do it one-on-one. So it's either Morgan with the guest or me with the guest. So this is super exciting. We get to tag team, which goes right in line with our topic, but we'll get there in a moment.
Absolutely. I am super excited. This is a fun one. Let me tell you, as I was doing the notes, I was just smiling like, well, should we get into it?
We really should. Time's wasting.
Time's a waste. Yeah, there's no time like the present to talk about anal sex. Am I right?
Yes.
You are right.
Yes. Number one fan joining us today. As you guys know, we are not experts. We're not doctors. We are just three friends trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Jose's got a little bit of expertise on this, just like I had expertise with, like interracial dating. He might have a little bit extra to share with us. So we'll test his knowledge,
Yeah. No, I'm excited because for as much information we have in the notes, we have someone who's going to sprinkle us with just a lifetime of knowledge,
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So let's get into it. For those of you who may not know, what is anal sex? Well, according to WebMD, anal sex is any sexual activity that involves the anus. It does not always mean penetration with a penis. People can use sex toys, fingers, or a tongue. People of all sexual orientations and gender identities can have anal sex.
Yes.
It's for everyone.
It really is.
So I found and this was still on WebMD. So, and maybe you guys can let me know if you know any other names, but there were some alternatives for just anal sex. Okay. So people use many different terms for anal sex, but some common ones include anal, just very straight to the point.
Right.
Anal intercourse, buggery, Greek. I've not heard that. I didn't look more into it, but I was like, okay. And bareback.
Yes.
It's like, now you're speaking my language.
Yes.
Does anyone have any others?
Yeah. I was thinking Catholic schoolgirl because
Oh,
That's like the
okay.
Catholic schoolgirl position because, like, you know, they're
Mm.
still virgins of the vagina, but like,
Yeah.
it's still sex. Let's be real. So,
Yeah. Right. Okay. Jose, you got any for us? Or you just keep it simple?
I just keep
Anal.
it simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Anal and
You're a straight
bareback.
shooter.
I'm a straight to the point kind of guy on this issue.
On this issue.
Yes. I like to get right to business.
oh,
We know. So, now that people do too. So, this article was interesting because it had some myths. Nope. It was interesting because it had some myths and misconceptions about anal sex.
Mm.
So, let's get a few examples. The first one, only gay men have anal sex.
no.
Myth. Many gay male couples have anal sex, but not all do. Do you know any gay couples that don't have anal sex? Anyone? None in particular. I mean,
I mean, I don't know necessarily if like all the couples I know are having anal sex. I mean, I would also assume that it might be more common with gay men, but like with queer women, I don't know if that's necessarily always the case, you know? Like they might be doing other things. Well, I know they're doing other things, but I don't know if anal sex is always on the docket. So I guess, yeah, I might know some people. I don't know if I can really like take this out for a survey, but
right. I don't know how we would figure this out. So let's move on. All right. So it goes on to say, also, people of any sexual orientation and gender can enjoy it, including heterosexual couples.
Correct.
So there you go. The next myth, there's no chance of getting pregnant from anal sex. Apparently, this is a myth.
How is this
Which
a myth?
kind of freaked me out. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it says, while the chances of getting pregnant from anal sex are certainly lower than with vaginal sex, there is still a small possibility. Jose, you're in the medical field. Do you know this to be true? Can you please tell me? Not that I'm just only doing anal to avoid pregnancy. I'm just saying, like, I'm just Catholic school girling everywhere, but I'm not. I'm just saying. I didn't know this to be a myth. What were you
I
going to
didn't
say,
know
Ryann?
this was a myth either. I'm assuming if they're talking about like going back and forth.
Yeah. Is that what you're thinking,
Yeah,
Ryann?
of course. If you're going in between anal and vaginal, and if they're, yeah, I would. There's a possibility there.
Right.
But I don't. If you're just strictly having anal sex,
I don't think it's gonna like soak
opinion would
through
be
into the
that you're not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, no. Like if he's coming deep in your ass, like I don't think it's gonna like make its way up into your ovaries. But I do think that there is a small, separation between your anus and your vag, unless you just have a very large taint. I don't know. Some people might have larger taints. I don't know. But
like a higher placed butthole. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. However, if you were, either going between both, like Jose said, or if he just wanted to come on the outside, right? Like, a lot of guys really like the whole presentation of their sperm. I'll say that. But if it's getting a little bit too close for comfort, I'm like, okay, like it's time to rinse off. Like you've had your look, let's move on, because I don't have a big taint. So, if I do some Kegels, things can move around kind of quickly. I'm just saying.
Fair. So yeah, I think that is probably the case because it says anytime the penis is close to the vagina, there's always a chance that semen will enter the vagina and lead to pregnancy. It's probably that situation. The next one is it's harder to get sexually transmitted infections from anal sex.
False.
Okay.
Right. That is a myth. So it is just as easy, if not easier, to get an STI from anal sex. The tissue of the anus is delicate and can tear easily. This can leave more openings to an infection or for an infection to enter the body. The person who is getting anally penetrated, sometimes called the bottom, thank you, WebMD, is more at risk for STIs than the person doing the penetrating, sometimes called the top.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So, how to explore anal sex? Jose, you let us know. It says, you need to relax the sphincter muscle of the anus. The muscle you squeeze when you need to poop. I don't know why I said anal. I said sphincter, but poop made me take pause. I don't know. That feels like the grossest word in the sentence. So when you need to poop, but have to wait to receive anal sex. So it's important to try and stay relaxed as you explore anal sex by yourself or with a partner. So unlike the vagina, the anus does not self-lubricate. You need to use a lot of lubrication, whether you use your fingers, a sex toy, or a penis. It will help you to avoid tearing or other injuries to the area.
Yes, all of that is correct. That is all. Those are all very important pieces that play a part in the puzzle of having great anal sex. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get into that part in a second. Let's just
it's a delicate rosebud. You need to treat it right. You know?
Right. So so the appeal of anal sex can be, in some cases, people with penises usually have a prostate gland. This gland has many nerve endings, making the area sensitive. Since the prostate sits on the other side of the rectum, it's possible to stimulate it by putting a finger or sex toy inside the anus. Some people with prostates find anal play a pleasurable activity for this reason. And just a little definition if people aren't too sure, what is the prostate gland? Jose, go ahead, take it away. I'm just kidding. I wrote down the definition. I'm just going to put you on the spot.
Putting me on the spot every time.
So the prostate is a walnut-sized gland located between the bladder and the penis. The prostate is just in front of the rectum. Nope, rectum. The urethra runs through the center of the prostate from the bladder to the penis, letting urine flow out of the body. The prostate secretes fluid that nourishes and protects sperm. During ejaculation, the prostate squeezes this fluid into the urethra and it's expelled with sperm as semen. So, just so everyone knows, getting clinical.
Interesting. I always knew it came out. Yeah, I always knew it came out of the same hole, but I don't think I ever thought about the fact that, like, where's the semen? It's not in your urine, you know?
Yeah.
So it's in the prostate and then it filters it.
Right. So it gives the semen like a little, I don't know, like a little soup to stay in.
Yes.
Yeah. A little holding cell.
Yeah. Little protective covering.
Catalyst to the exit.
Oh, yeah. We all know how the exit goes.
Yes.
It's like a firework.
Only when it's good.
We will get into that.
It's a sad trickle when it's not.
Right. Yeah.
Or nothing at all.
Yeah. Not all anal sex is created equally. We'll say that.
So let's talk a little bit about lube. Shall we?
Yeah.
Yes, we shall.
So there are a few different types of lube, and Jose, maybe you can share some of your expertise because we have some options here. Maybe you've tried them all or a few. Let us know and then give us your recommendations, okay? The first one is water-based lube. So this is your safest bet to start with, it says. It can be used for all your sexual needs, penetrative sex, masturbation, sex toy play. Water-based lubes are ideal for people with sensitive skin or who are prone to irritation. They can be used with condoms and sex toys, and they're very easy to clean off of yourself, off of sheets, off of clothing, and they won't leave a stain. So those are the benefits there. They do have some downsides, though. They are not great for water/shower play because they wash away that easily. So they also tend to get sticky and require frequent reapplication. So if you're planning, it says, so if you're planning to have marathon sex, we suggest another type. So, yeah, it's for the sprint, not the marathon. The next one is a silicone-based lube. So this one is slippery, long-lasting, and ideal for longer sessions. It requires less lube to be applied and needs reapplication less often. These lubes are also great for shower sex or masturbation in the shower because they don't wash away so easily. The catch is that silicone-based lubes are a bit more tedious to wash off. You'll need soap and water for cleanup afterward. And sometimes silicone-based lubes also stain sheets. It also has a word of caution. Never spill this on your hardwood floors. It will stain and leave your floors slippery for months.
Love how that was thrown in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jose. That's why our wood floors were so slippery in our apartment. Now it makes sense.
You're just falling down every.
He hadn't switched lubes yet. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I was still exploring back then. Okay.
Yeah.
He was learning. He was growing.
I know.
So, the silicone-based lubes should not be used with silicone-based sex toys. They can break down the rubber over time. However, this doesn't mean all sex toys are off limits. There are many that are made from other materials like hard plastic, glass, and steel. So, FYI. And then our next option is oil-based lubes. Okay, Jose's a fan.
So. Take me home. Take it home.
So these provide a slippery feel that lasts longer than water-based lube. These lubes are ideal for masturbation, hands or toys, penetrative unprotected sex, and water play. They can also be used for sensual massages.
Ooh, yes. We love a good sensual massage.
So, oil-based lubes or any other oil-based like petroleum jelly or mineral oil should not be used with latex condoms as they can dissolve the latex of the condom and may cause latex condoms to break. Latex diaphragms and latex sex toys should also be kept away from oil-based lubes. Non-latex condoms are also sensitive to oil-based personal lubricants. So check the package before use.
Yes.
Okay.
So, oil-based with unprotected only, it sounds like.
Yeah, bareback in all the sense.
Woo! That's great.
Another downside is that these are difficult to obviously clean off of sheets and your body.
Yeah.
Oil stains, as we know. You know, like you drop a French fry on your t-shirt or something.
Yeah, because that's what we're talking about.
I'm just saying it's hard to get the oil out.
Yeah, it's hard to get the oil out of my shirt for many reasons.
Oh my God.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Well, those are our options. So, Jose, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, let's start. Let's go down the list. So
yeah.
Okay.
Of course. So starting off with water-based lubricants. Definitely have used it. Definitely enjoy it as a preference for when, like you were talking about, it's going to be a quick hookup, you know, like in and out, you know, meeting somebody, you know, after at the bar, running back to their place, in the car, you know, all those little shenanigans we get ourselves into. Definitely good for that. So enjoy it.
Okay.
So I have a question though. So what was the first type of lube that you've tried? Or should I save this until after he goes through each one?
No, we can ask as we go.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
So do you remember like what's the first type of lube that you tried? And like, did you like it?
Yeah.
You know, like, did you figure out really quickly, like I'm allergic to this or?
No. So I think the first lubricant that I did use was the water-based lubricant. It was probably from one of those little like square packs that we got at Pride, where they passed out a bunch of those little lube packs and condoms. So I had built, you know, a whole mound of those.
Yeah, I had a stash too.
Very large stash. And so I just remember pulling from there, and, you know, taking them with me just in case on the go.
Yeah.
you know, and they came in very handy. Yeah. I definitely
Nice.
have to, you know, shout out to all the Pride events that
Yeah.
All that
passed
swag
those out.
really got you
Yeah.
through your 20s in
They
the
really
sex department.
did. I'd never spent a dime on any of those things.
Yeah,
True
that's so
that.
true.
Yeah.
I've never purchased a pack of condoms because of how much we got at Pride.
No,
Hmm.
exactly. And also I'm thinking like so many of those condoms are so cute. I was like saving them as like Christmas tree ornaments. I was like, oh,
Yes.
that's so cute.
They were
They are adorable.
adorable.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I did end up eventually having to use some of them. I was like, I mean, it's going to be expired by the time I end up like.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
using
Yeah.
it.
You need something in a quick,
Right,
you know,
right.
in a
Yeah.
pinch. They
Yeah.
were great.
But I did try some of the lube packs as well. Like I remember trying a few of those. Also because
Mhm.
I don't know if I was doing this wrong, because definitely I probably used like one of the lubes that might have not been great with the condom. But sometimes I would use lube to like make the condom like slide on easier, you know, like that would kind of help the process.
Okay.
Hopefully it wasn't breaking down the condom, but I don't have any kids, so I think I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for now.
Yeah, for now.
Okay, so
then
you started with the water-based.
Yes.
Did you then go on to the silicone?
Yes.
Okay.
So trying
Tell us about that.
silicone, don't like it.
Okay.
Oh, what
Just
are your
really
thoughts on
don't
it?
like it. Once I came across it and started dabbling with it, I did not like that after sex feeling. It left you
Oh.
very sticky. You could feel like, I don't know, for me at least, I could like just feel the buildup. And I don't like, I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't for me.
Interesting.
I found that out very quick. And so I have stayed away from
Oh.
silicone-based lubricants for as long as I can remember.
Okay, so I'm wondering, has anyone ever, like when you show up to like a hookup's house, or maybe this is like a recurring hookup or something, has anyone ever had a silicone-based lube and you were like, oh no, I don't want to use that? You know, like have you ever had to like, oh, actually I brought some with me. Like we're going to use this one.
Yes, all the
Okay.
time.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of, yeah, I've always done that because I have run into those situations a couple of times and realized, oh, fuck, okay, well, I don't have like a backup and we're going to have to use what he has. And, you know, and so I learned from that mistake really quick. And so for as long as I could remember, I've always got something. I've always got
Okay.
something with me ready to go just in case I don't like what the other person has.
Oh,
You know?
interesting.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
a good tidbit.
Yeah.
Pack your own lube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always take, you always be prepared. Always take your
Right.
condoms and lube
Oh, interesting.
just in case.
Sorry, but another follow-up question. Have you ever gone to now I'm just super interested. Have you ever gone to a hookup's house and they've had options? Like they're like, oh, I have this kind, I have this kind. Like, you know, do they have like a little like bathroom setup where they like choose what you like?
Oh, it's like when you go to like a fancy bathroom and they have like the
Yeah.
perfumes and the mints and stuff. Did they have like a little, you know?
I don't know
like,
about the perfumes and the mints.
Did you give them a $1 after you left? Did
I
they
was
hand you
hoping
the paper towels?
I was hoping they were going to give me the $1.
Right. Yeah.
When it came down to it. The perfume and cologne on the counter, I think, was just their day-to-day.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah.
Spray.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah, they just live there.
Yeah, it was
Just their home. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
their
it.
home. But definitely have been to a lot of homes and places where there has been a variety, you know, of selection to choose from. And usually it's kind of like placed out on like a big dresser or on the nightstand by the bed, you know, have all their little things set up for when I arrive. And I enjoy that very much. I appreciate that because they're thinking ahead, you know. I appreciate them giving me options, giving us options to have a great time.
Yes, exactly. And too, because you know, we've all heard about like the stereotype. Well, if you haven't, but like the stereotype of like tops like not being good hosts and kind of just like, you know, having like a bed on the floor and being like, all right, you ready to fuck?
Some of that is true.
Okay, but that's what, that's what I was gonna say. Is that true? Because
Yes.
Is that the
A
more
lot
more those situations? Okay.
I find that the older that I am getting, the more, the the more that men, at least around my age or older,
Mhm.
have, like that common courtesy already like set up and know
Okay.
what needs to be there, what, should be provided for. Like, I love, going to somebody's house and being offered a bottled water and having options, for lubricants and condoms and things like that, background music. All of those things play a key part into having great anal sex.
Okay, ambiance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Straight men, take notes. Jesus fucking Christ. I've never gotten a bottle of water.
That's true.
I've left
That's true.
hookups like fucking parched.
I know.
Like it doesn't
Mhm.
take that much. Like you had a whole pack of like Miller Lite or some shit, but you couldn't like have a Brita. Like just get a Brita.
Yeah, just something.
Yeah. Fill it up and like save it. Save it for the next time someone comes over,
Right.
It's the thoughtfulness. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. I like that.
Okay,
but now to get to
so-
the one we know he likes most, which is the
Yes.
oil based. So
Yes.
how
Oh my
did you find out about it? Tell us about it.
God.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
I know. Let me tell you guys, oil-based lubricants. How did I come across this? When
Okay, well, tell us first what is the kind, like what is your preference when we're talking about oil based? Like, I know which one because I'm a very close friend and I know which one you like. But what do you like? What's your oil based product of choice?
Yes. So my oil-based product is coconut oil.
Ooh.
Love it. I've also dabbled out a little bit into like sesame oil, almond oil.
Ooh, I love the smell of almond oil.
Yes. Really good.
That
But
sounds
my
great.
number one go-to is coconut oil.
Okay.
I love
Only
it.
$5.99 at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
That's a great option.
Yeah. Does it need to be organic, cold pressed? Is there,
Oh,
does it matter? You know what I mean?
I'd have to say, I don't necessarily think that matters. I think I already buy that anyways.
Yeah.
So
He's a bougie
that's
bitch.
just, yes,
Yeah.
I'm already there.
Yeah, right. He's like, that's a given. Yeah. Okay.
that's what he started with. So
Right. Yeah.
Anything else is just subpar. So
There you go. Exactly. When you start your standard so high, there's no going down from that, So
right.
okay. Touche. Awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, so how did you find out about it? Did you was this a recommendation from a friend? Or because I know you like to lather yourself in coconut oil in general.
That's
so was it
true.
just also on the nightstand and you were like,
the thought had not crossed my mind until I think it was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. One of my coworkers had brought it up to me that they used an oil. And I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. And I was like, okay, let me give it a go. And from the moment I first did that, oh my God.
yeah.
It was off to the
Fell in
races.
love. Fell in love with the coconut oil. So then I started looking it up and I was like, okay, this has more than one benefit. I was like, it's a great lubricant. It doesn't leave you super sticky and like with a bunch of buildup like the silicone-based lubricants. It doesn't dry out super fast like water-based lubricants do. So it's a really, really great happy medium. Also, side note, coconut oil has antibacterial properties, so love that, as well as nourishing and moisturizing the skin while all enjoying a great time of anal sex.
Oh my
Win,
gosh.
win,
Look,
win.
I know. I'm like writing this down, bitch. Okay. Because also we didn't take a poll. So just to be clear, has every podcast have anal sex? I.e. you, Morgan? Have you had anal sex?
I haven't. No.
Oh, really? You've never tried it?
No.
Has anyone ever?
Put
a finger up there?
There's like some play there, but not like penetrative sex because, as I've said multiple times, I haven't really been with anyone in a more long-term capacity, and I just feel like you have to be a little more comfortable. It's just something I haven't done before, like,
Okay.
so,
Interesting. Okay. Didn't know
I'm
that.
open to it.
Oh, you're going to be open. All right. That's step one, honey. We'll get there.
Right.
Yes.
But no, the reason I ask is because, we're like, obviously we have this guest and we want all the expertise from Jose. But I was going to say, like, the first time I tried anal sex, one, I was not as comfortable as it probably should have been. But I was like, I'm a wild girl. Like, let's try this shit. But we tried with a water-based lube. And when Jose said that it dries up quicker, I was like, that was it. Because by like pump 4 or 5, I was like, it's starting to feel like we didn't use lube. And I remember like asking, like, did you use the lube? Like, I gave it to you for a reason. You know what I mean? Also, never leave a straight man in charge. Like, he didn't know what to do. I'm pretty sure he like squirted it on 3 fingertips and was like, all right, let's go. Like, so that was also a no-go. But now that I've been trying it more, I noticed so me and my current partner, we do like anal sex, and we use the water-based, but it just seems like we have to reapply it multiple times. So I'm going to take a tip from this. I'm going to try the coconut oil. This is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It definitely gives you some longevity in your playtime.
Ooh.
Have you tried any like oil-based lubricants specifically for like sex play? Or has it always just been like coconut oil, or like what else did you say? Almond oil, sesame oil? You can buy those at the store for food purposes, for, body oil purposes. But like,
yes. So
have you
generally,
gone and purchased an oil-based lubricant specifically for sex?
I don't think I purchased one.
Or used one, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Used one, yes. Like how we were talking about when you have a regular hookup or some, it doesn't have to be regular, but somebody who has, a variety of options. I would always end up choosing that oil-based lubricant that they have. For myself, it wasn't really like, I just never found the necessity out of going and purchasing an oil-based lube, because if I just buy the body oil jar of coconut oil, I can moisturize my body, as well as knowing that I have it on standby on the nightstand for any necessary hookup.
Oh, yeah. We love a multi-purpose queen. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Efficient.
It is.
It is efficient. Yeah.
One less trip.
Exactly. It's a combo, 2 in 1. Either during the day and at night.
Oh, look at him.
Side note, don't get water in your coconut oil, because it can get it can like grow bacteria.
Oh, ew. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
Just FYI, people, if you keep it in the bathroom, because I used to use it after the shower to moisturize, and then I was like, what is this weird stuff in here? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, gross. So
yeah, and then you threw it out.
Yes. Yeah. No, and then I put it on. I was just like, oh, gotta dry my hands first. No. Yes, the word to the wise. If you're using it multi-purpose, as we've stated, make sure you're keeping it dry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it in the bedroom.
Yes.
Keep it on the dresser.
Keep it in the bedroom.
Where it belongs.
Keep it by the vanity,
Love that.
All right, well, let's see what this article says, because there was a specific section for lubes for anal sex. So just to wrap up this section, it says lubrication is recommended for anal sex since the anal canal does not produce fluid to help ease penetration. Plus, the tight muscle sphincter at the entrance of the anus offers much more resistance than the vagina, which is full of folds and stretchable tissue. So using a personal lubricant can also make anal sex safer. Using a water-based lubricant decreases the chances of condom breakage while having anal sex. And this actually says, in contrast to oil-based lubricants or saliva, which both increase the chances of condom breakage during sex.
Oh, interesting.
So I think that goes back to the oil-based having a higher chance of breaking the condom. So
Well,
it says,
yeah, because our saliva is kind of corrosive, isn't it? Like,
Yes, it
our
has enzymes in it that,
okay.
that normally we use to break down foods. And
That
so
makes
it
sense.
it can break down the latex on the condom,
Oh
or at least
yeah.
create a higher risk for it.
Okay, there you go. So spitting on it ain't gonna get you the desired results that you think.
right.
Stock up, boys. Okay, all you tops out there, listen. Get yourself some coconut oil and stop breaking condoms.
Uh.
All right.
So the chances of the condom slipping off during anal sex are also related to lubrication. Applying lubrication to the outside of the condom can decrease chances of slippage, while applying lubrication to the inside of the condom can increase chances of slippage.
Mm.
So I didn't know. I didn't think about using lubrication on the inside of the condom. Is that a pretty common thing?
Mm,
Anyone? No,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. I generally
I mean, they
am
said
not
it in this
like
article, so I was like, is that
lubing
a
up a dick before I put a condom on it. But also, too, I'm not the one putting it on. So,
fair?
He's a pillow princess.
yes.
Yeah. In every capacity.
Right. I mean, like I said, I think a lot of times why lube could already be on the penis is because, or on the toy or whatever, but usually on the penis, but it's because you're like any like foreplay, right? Like if you're giving him a hand job first, or
that's a good point.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or using a sex toy on him, right? Like using a fleshlight or something, like you're playing around first. So there's going to be lube already on the dick. And so you might not necessarily just be putting it on to have it under the condom. It just might be under the condom because you're doing other stuff. And then it led to anal sex, you know?
Yeah,
So for
definitely
That's
me,
a really good point.
Yeah. And for me, like, you know, if you're not having sex or vaginal sex, and there's no lubricant down there, like I said, sometimes like the condom, like if you take it out, usually it has like a little bit of, is that lube that's already on the condom that makes it like, you know, like
yes.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes I feel like they don't, like some of them have a lot of it. You know, you open the condom and that shit's squirting before you do. You know, you're like, fuck, oh, shit. You know, you're like trying to get it on the dick. But some of them aren't as like lubricated already. And so I would add like a little bit, like I said, you know, kind of put it on the dick first. I'm like painting it. I don't know why. But, and then I would put the condom on after to kind of slip it on there. Yeah, I need like a banana demonstration right now to like show
right.
you. We said we needed better sex ed. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
We did. Everything we're talking about, we did not learn
Right?
about.
It was all trial and
Absolutely
error,
not.
baby.
It was. It was.
Maybe.
Our
Yeah.
sweet little rosebuds were exposed to way too much.
So last little note I found in this, the anus has a more neutral acidity level, with pH being 5.5 to 7. So try and pick a lube appropriately.
Oh.
So lubes have a pH balance listed. So the vagina has a certain pH balance. So if you're looking for a lube, look for something that's closer to the pH of a vagina. And the anus also has an acidity level with the pH of 5.5 to 7. Oh. So if you are shopping around for lubes, you can look at the pH level and you should find something in that range.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing about this right now.
I know.
There
like,
you go.
Okay, the more you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're always learning. We really are. That's so interesting. So I wonder if coconut oil itself like has like a standard pH level.
Let's do a quick side Google.
Yeah.
It could.
It could.
Great recommendation, Jose, because the pH level in coconut oil is 5.5. Perfect.
It's a match made in anal sex heaven. This is
yes. And that's why
we found the winner,
so great.
people.
Right, we found the winner. That is true.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to have anal sex in 7 steps.
Oh.
Should I be taking notes? We'll see.
Yes.
Jose, you let us know if these steps are accurate. You can be the judge here, okay? All right, so it starts off with the decision to try anal sex should begin with an open conversation with your partner.
Mm.
That's the thing. I haven't had a partner that I've had to have an open conversation about anal sex with. I think that's, one day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless it's a given, right? Like,
Yeah.
unless it's a given.
Unless it's a given. Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying me specifically because I haven't done it yet. So
Okay.
start with anal training, which is the exercise of building your tolerance for anal penetration, typically with the use of fingers or sex toys. Once your partner consents to anal sex, here's how to make it a positive and safe experience. Alrighty?
Yeah.
So, number 1, ease into anal play. If you're the receptive partner, again, also called the bottom, it says in this article specifically. So, and you've never tried anal penetration before, first experiment with anal play during masturbation, using your fingers or a small sex toy. And then after you get comfortable on your own, let your partner pleasure you in the same manner so you can get on the same page about your likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So then number 2 is practice anal hygiene. So,
Biggie.
yeah, the receptive partner the bottom, should try to have a bowel movement around an hour before anal sex and then wash the anal region with soap and water. The bottom can also use an enema 1 to 2 hours beforehand to clean out the lower portion of their rectum. Do you think this is a good timeline?
I think for some people, yes, that makes 100% sense. In my case, this is just because I know my body. I know how, when my bowel movements are coming, usually 99.9% of the time. The whole like hour before, 2 hours before, it's not necessarily my standard. I know when I'm ready and when I'm not. So I usually just go based off of that.
Is it usually longer than an hour to 2 hours before? Like, do you prep like before that, like maybe a few hours before or even shorter?
Yeah, it could, no, even much longer. Like,
Oh, okay. Okay.
It could be a whole, like the whole day, the whole 12-hour span of a daytime, has
Okay.
gone by, but I know I'm still ready. Like, I'm still good to go.
She stay ready.
She
Love that.
does.
So wait, but now I have a question. So since you need more time, but we don't always know like when the hookups are going to happen, right? Like sometimes you're just like, you know what? It's like 10:30, but something might happen at like 11:15. So can you get ready quickly or do you always just stay ready?
Let's see. You can get ready quickly.
Okay.
You can definitely, we pointed out, do the enema.
Okay.
Or, a lot of people have, what are they called again? I can't even.
Oh, douching.
Yeah, douching. Yeah, see, like this, I don't even like, I forget what they're called sometimes because I don't quite use them that often. I'm very much on a regular schedule that, I know that for the most part, I'm always ready to go. But yeah, you can definitely use like a douche to cleanse out. You don't create much force so that the water doesn't go up so high because then that's going to, bring a lot more back down.
Yeah.
So you have to be quite precise in that sense of how you douche.
Yes. So Jose showed me how to douche for the first time when we were living together. Not literally, he wasn't in the bathroom with me, but he was like,
we were on FaceTime. I was a doorway.
He was like, this is how you do it. And I was like, so I have to like bend over. And he was like, yes, you need to like get in touch. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, set up and I'm trying to like remember all the steps. And he was a good teacher. I'll say that. I just wasn't the best student. I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this. But since then, his tips have come in handy. He is very, he's an expert when it comes to these things. So the douching came later, but I was like, I don't think it's going to be tonight. But I figured it out later.
So it's not always required though, like because you're on a regular schedule. Because this is saying you could have a bowel movement, what, a couple hours, around an hour before, and then just wash with soap and water. That would
Yeah,
suffice
so
as
like
well.
some people, yeah, because other people, other people are more regular in a sense, like maybe
Mhm.
they go 2 or 3 times in a
Mhm.
day. And so, that extra little like, flush and like rinse off will, do them good.
Mhm.
It's not to say like if I have the time, and prep to like
Mhm.
be, double, triple check, like, yeah, why not be as fresh as possible?
Right.
But for the most part, I already know, like, if I've already, rinsed out and I'm cleansed and I'm fresh and I'm good to go from the start of the day, I know I'll be good at the end of the day.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Nice.
Good to know. All right. So, number 3 is use protection. The risk of transmitting an STI is higher during anal sex than other types of sex. So, it's good to use a condom during anal intercourse and a dental dam when engaging in rimming and other types of oral anal play.
Okay.
Jose shook his head. This is an audio medium for some people, so I'm just gonna narrate for a second.
Yes. Right.
So why don't you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that, Jose?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I definitely promote safe sex. You know, and just as a human being and as a healthcare professional, do what is safe, do what's best for you, keep yourself low risk.
Mm.
Always promote that,
Right.
but
But do
it's
you
kind of one of
use them?
but
Do you
it's one
use
of those
them?
things that's like, uh do as I say, not do as
Do as I
I.
say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I fall into that category a little bit
Mm.
because I definitely, for the majority of, like, let's just say the first 5 years, 6 years of having sex and being with other men and
Mhm.
having anal sex, I did use. I was always 100% safe. Did use condoms. Did use lube.
Mm.
It wasn't until I got a little bit more comfortable with myself, with you know understanding, fact checking the people that I'm with, that I'll be sleeping with, that I'll be having a good time with, um, that I did try uh,
Mm.
having sex without condoms.
Oh,
And
okay.
there is something to that where, it feels different. I will say
Mm.
that. It
I
feels
mean,
different.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's annoying.
And it's annoying. It is. It
It
is.
is.
Have you ever tried the ribbed condoms?
I would say yes.
Hmm.
They do have a nice texture to them, a good feeling.
Okay.
Um, so I don't knock that. Like, yeah, they're good options. Um, but
Still not
again,
the same.
still not the same. Yes. We're
That's
gonna keep
fair.
coming full circle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But
He's like, my point
legally,
still stands. Yeah.
right, legally, he is a proponent of low risk condoms every time. But dental dams, are those like the things? Is it's like a really thin type of like condom? Is that just for vaginal use, or because it said for anal sex? So is that like if you want to like give somebody like a rim job, but you don't want to
Yeah,
like actually put
right.
your mouth?
So it said the dental
Oh,
dam you can use for rimming or other types of oral play
interesting.
Okay.
for the
I've never
anus.
used
Yeah.
a dental dam.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. No, this is the first time I had heard of it specifically used for anal,
Right.
but I know of them because of, going down on a woman, like to
Yeah, I
cover the
mean,
vagina.
yeah, I've heard of them like colloquially, but I've never
Right.
actually met anyone that used a dental dam.
I've never used one.
Right. That's oh yeah, maybe we'll cover that on another episode. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I can recommend or, not recommend.
Right. Yeah.
But safe sex. Safe sex
Safe
and
sex.
consent above
Yes.
all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Well, I think if you're not going to use protection, then you probably have to be more open to the conversation about when's the last time you got tested, things
Right.
like that.
Yes. And
Right.
generally speaking, when, at least in my experience, having that conversation with somebody who you'll be, hooking up with just once or over a span of time, um, having that conversation, at least as a gay man with another gay or bi man, like, is very easy,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Open communication.
That's true. And it should be more normalized in the straight community.
Yes.
That was a huge thing when I met my current partner. Like when we first started talking, he brought it up multiple times, and at first he was like, I know sometimes people find it weird, and I'm like, that's really sad because it is way more normalized in the gay community, which, with obvious like history to it as well, like when the AIDS epidemic hit, like people were like, oh, it's only gay people, like they're having butt sex and that's how they get it. And that's not true. You can get AIDS and HIV just like anybody else. Everyone is susceptible. And no shade, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like you shouldn't be ashamed to share your status, but at the same time, like if you are hiding from those conversations, which a lot of straight men do, like, oh no, I'm clean, like my dick looks fine. Okay, that's not how all STDs and STIs work. Like,
yep.
There can be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. So I will say that was one of the most attractive things. That was actually honestly a turn on, right? Like a lot of women need that, like, that emotional connection or, like that, horny of the mind or something. I don't know what they call it, but you need that. And to me, that was sexy because I was like, thank you. You're like looking out for me. Like you actually care about my well-being, like past our sexual interaction,
Right.
So it's a good thing. Talk about it.
It is a good thing. I love that. I've been, quite a few experiences where you had that conversation and then somebody, shows you like on their phone through their healthcare app, date of last test result and, the result, negative, positive, whatever the case is, but is, open and willing to do so even before, the sex commences. I'm like, that's a huge turn on to me. I'm like, right? Yes, show me your negative result and I'll show you mine and let's fucking hit it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I have been in a few instances where it, that's happened and I'm like, oh my God, that just puts it over the top for me,
Yeah. Yep.
I appreciate honesty above all else.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is begin with foreplay. Make sure the bottom is loosened up and ready for penetration. Engage in some anal foreplay like rimming or light lube massage so that the bottom sphincter muscles relax enough for penetration to be comfortable.
Yes, 100% agree with that.
Do you think it's always necessary? Are there times where you're like, let's just fucking do it?
Yeah. No, yeah, there's times like that too. There's times where, it's just like I'm in that moment and it needs to happen right here and now. Usually I kind of, you kind of already have a sense of like what you're getting yourself into. So I know if I want to get straight to the point, I will, massage, penetrate myself prior to relax, so that I know I'm ready to go. So that I won't be so tight and intense. Like, but if I know that there, this, little endeavor is going to have some longevity to it, then by all means, I want you to participate in that part.
Oh, that's interesting. A little self foreplay before you get into it. I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how to relax yourself better than anyone, right? Like you said, like every cookie is not going to be, everything and more. It's like, if I know I want that dick, I know I want that dick. So like, I'm going to rub it around, get it ready. And then, when you slide in, it's all working.
Right.
Coconut
You're
oil
ready
just
to go.
slaps on in. Yeah.
Thank God for coconut oil.
Episode is not sponsored by coconut oil, but call us. We'd love to. We'd love to partner.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So the next one is use lots of lube. Coconut oil. Come on now.
Yes.
So the anus does not produce its own lubrication, as we've said. So it's crucial to use plenty of lube. Both silicone-based lube and water-based lube are safe with latex condoms, like we said, but silicone-based lube lasts longer. Again, if you're using a silicone toy, use water-based and vice versa. Lubricate the rim of the anus and then the inside as well. You can make the application process part of your foreplay.
Yes.
Make the coconut oil part of it, you know?
Yes. That is something that also too with like the releasing the tension, you know, if I'm doing that myself prior because I know what's going to happen. That is a part of the process, you know, like I do like to make sure that I am already oiled up on the inside and ready to go and lightly on the outside before I even meet said person.
Oh, interesting.
So that all, you know, once we get going, the part of just, you know, you put some oil on your dick and then you can, you know, rub it, play with it, however, on the outside of the anus. And then, you know, the inside's already ready to go. I don't have to worry about that.
The inside's already decorated, baby. Just gotta come on in. I love that.
And that comes from trial and error because I've done it. I remember previously, you know, maybe the guy doesn't know how much oil to put on, puts a little less, you know, it's all oiled up on his dick, but as it's penetrating in and out, we're going to lose some of that. And so it can make it a little bit tighter, a little bit more uncomfortable on the inside for myself or as another bottom. And so, you know, that was one of those experiences where I'm like, okay, I can just go ahead and do this myself.
Interesting.
Before, so that I know, you know, we're not going to have any like ow moments.
Oh, interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good note.
But I was thinking about something. So I was watching Uncoupled on Netflix. I don't know if either of you have seen it, but it's starring Neil Patrick Harris, and him and his boyfriend break up. They've been together for like ever. There was an episode that I wanted to mention because he's like basically thrown out into the dating game, right? So he like gets a grinder and like figures out like he has to like get his nudes together and everything. But the funniest part is when he is about to have sex with like this really hot doctor. And so he's like perfect guy, you know, like they're dating, whatever. And so they go back to the bedroom to have sex for the first time. And he's like, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm nervous. Like I haven't had sex with somebody new in so long. And he's like, oh, it's fine. Like he was like, I actually am a doctor. So I have like Botox shots. And so like I can give you like a slight pinch. He was like, and I can give you a Botox shot and it'll like loosen your sphincter because like the guy is basically like a little bit too big for him. And so it's like this really funny scene, of course, but he's like, no, sorry, I don't want Botox in my ass. Like, I can't do this. This is too much. And so he like leaves, you know, it's like this whole funny moment. But I was like, oh my gosh, is that like a real thing? Like, I haven't done research on it, but I was like, this is like some next level shit because I feel like I could use a Botox shot. Like if that's an option and I could just like have that sphincter just kind of turned off basically. Like it's kind of like, kind of turned off in a way so that you don't have to worry about that initial, like, oh, that tension. That was interesting to me. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that, Jose.
I have not. That is new to me, but also too, that brings, you know, a little concern because what about later? Botox is going to last. And
I had the same thought.
What's going to happen in 2 hours after the encounter? You know,
right. Yeah.
Am I just going to be a little too relaxed? An accident's going to occur?
That's literally what
take that risk.
Right. That's literally what he says. And he's like, oh no, it's a very low dose. You know, like, again, I don't want to ruin it. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's fucking hilarious. But that's exactly what he says. He was like, I don't want to have a loose butthole, you know, like he's like talking to him about it. And I was like, yeah, like this encounter at best is lasting like an hour. Like, let's be real here, you know, like that's like all foreplay included. So I just thought about that. I was like, that might be a little bit too intense, but also if we got the dosage right, you know, I'm willing to dabble. I'll just say that. I'm willing to dabble.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to look that one up.
Yes.
See if that's a thing. Okay. So number 6 is choose an anal position. Though doggy style may seem like the go-to anal sex position, it may not be as comfortable as other anal sex positions for those who are new to anal sex. First, try lying side by side with the top spooning the bottom, or have the bottom lie on their stomach with the top behind them. So, Jose,
So the
tell us.
first one, I can tell you right now.
Doggy
That-
style?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry. The spooning.
Okay, the spooning,
The
yes.
spooning position, yes. That was the position in which I still remember. I don't remember his name, but I remember the position. The very, very first time I had anal sex, it was in a lying on your side, little spoon, big spoon
Okay.
position. And that was created a really good experience, at least for, the first time.
Yeah. Comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable, definitely.
Okay.
It was also a friend, a very good friend who's also been on this podcast, who gave me the tip of being the one to position myself on top of my partner so that you have the advantage of, creating that like slide in moment and being able to relax as you do so. You're in control of the movements while your partner is laying on his back, and you're sitting on top, so you have the control and the
of
comfort
the
and the ease.
pace
Yes.
and the okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I think this falls into the realm of power bottom. I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, like I still want to be penetrated, but I'm gonna like control how much, how little, how much goes in, right? How far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you the control, especially I suggest when you're new.
Okay.
You're a fresh little young gay boy. Take note. You want to be sitting on top first. It'll give you the comfort, it'll give you the ease, it'll give you that security of like knowing, how much you can handle and if you need to stop, if you need to revert and then go back, you have that ability to do so and creating a more comfortable experience for you and your partner versus having a partner behind you and giving, you trying to, tell them to stop or putting your hand behind you and, that creates more tension. So
right. Oh, that's a good point. So
Yeah.
Morgan, we talked about this on an episode, remember? Because I wrote it down. I was like, because whatever episode we were talking about, it was like when you lay on your back, if you want to have anal sex, but if you lay on your back and lift your legs up, like in like the fetal position almost, it like relaxes your sphincter muscle. And it makes it easier for the, penis or sex toy or whatever to go in and out. Like it makes it an easier motion and a more pleasurable, supposedly. And so that was huge for me because I was like, that's the biggest thing. I was like, we were trying when we first started, me and my current partner, like we were trying it just like missionary, like, okay, like this is how we have vaginal sex, like traditionally. So like, what can we do to kind of mimic that? And so we tried that and I was like, this doesn't feel great. I don't like it. It just wasn't for me. And then we tried doggy style and I was like, whoa, buddy, this is a lot in my vagina. It's way too much for my anus. I could not handle it. So, but pulling my legs back actually really helped because it like, just the way that my anus was like kind of like stretched a little bit already, it kind of took away that initial like, no, like nothing's supposed to go up there. It was like, oh, okay, I was already kind of like in a way open, not like, you know what I mean? But
right.
So interesting.
You're creating the space for it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried on top. That's a note I'm taking for another time.
That's everyone take a note. That was not in the notes in the research. So I told you Jose was going to drop some little nuggets of knowledge on us today. So
there you go.
And number 7, keep an open line of communication. If you're giving the partner, if you're the giving partner, start slow and be gentle. So like Jose's saying, maybe doggy style isn't the way to start. Right. Only increasing intensity when the receiver is loosened up and enjoying themselves. If you're the receiver, give your partner feedback so they're aware of how you're feeling and always tell your partner to stop if you experience discomfort.
Yeah, I agree with all of those things. Definitely as a bottom most of the time, 99% of the time. Um, that is the way that I enjoy my sex. Um, it's something I built up over time, the confidence to let my partner know, to be able to have that open communication and to let them know a little bit, how it's going to go down, because that makes me feel comfortable. So, I just recall having sex, earlier in life, in my early 20s, and thinking like, oh, the top has all the power and says what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And that never, made me feel at ease. So, once I started owning myself, owning, how I deserve to have sex and be pleasured and have that reciprocated, like it, it really took off from there. And then was able to create more uh, sexual experiences that were, a little
Satisfying.
bit satisfying. Yeah, a little bit more remarkable than not.
Yes. We love
Yes.
an empowered queen. Okay.
Yes.
So true. Yeah. You have to be very clear. Yeah. Communication is tough, especially if it's a hookup. Sometimes you might feel rushed or you might feel intimidated, like
Mm-hmm.
how much can I
Yeah.
say, but honestly, the limit does not exist. Look,
Mm-mm.
a lot of these men out here need to be told what to do. Like
Yes, they do.
step by
Yes.
step.
Mm-hmm.
One finger and then two. Why are you trying to put in two at the same time?
Or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing. I think a lot of times I've experienced this. I think a lot of times in just like the average guy that's like having sex, I think that they think fingering needs to mimic their dick. But that's not like the point. Like fingering is foreplay for a reason. It's not so that you can like stuff it all in. It's so that you can like ease into one finger and then 2 fingers if it feels good, right? Like build up. I'm not saying that you can't, if like fisting, if you're into it, like do it, but you don't just like go right in. Like you need to build up to it. And sometimes I think that like, fingering and like foreplay is kind of confused with like, this should be exactly like sex. So you're ready for sex. It's like, no, you start at step 1 and you build up. You know what I mean? So communication on that part is very crucial.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. Never be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I do want to mention, because again, like I said, Jose and another friend that we also had on the podcast, we're just going to say his name. It's Eli. So we had him on the podcast, and you two were my, shamans into anal sex, because I was like, look, I've tried it before with like hookups. It just wasn't a good experience. And it wasn't that it was like a bad experience. It was just not something that I wanted to repeat. But with my current partner, he's like all about it. When we first got together, he like sent me sex toys. He was like, I want you to like see how you like it, before we even met. So I was like trying out toys on myself. Yeah, it was very sexy. It was all good things. Trust me. Everyone needs a bit. But he like literally sent me toys. He was like, I want you to like see if you actually like it without anybody else even there. Like, does it feel pleasurable to you? Because it's not just going to magically be pleasurable when somebody else is in the room. It's probably going to be more nerve-wracking, So I tried it myself and I was like, okay, I can dabble with this. Like, it's fun, But I remember like calling Jose and I was like, oh, like it's fun, but like I always get like a little bit nervous. I get in my head and then I feel like I shut down completely. And Jose was like, okay, well, like try poppers. And I was like, ooh, what's poppers? Like, what is this? I'm thinking it's like a type of lube or something. He's like, no, it's like this thing. So,
yes.
If you know what it is, if you know, we'll just say that.
You know.
And so I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, like, before sex and then like ease into it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, great. So the first time me and Ben like want to have anal sex, I'm like, okay, great. Like I've got like the sex toys, I've got like the poppers. And so like the sex toys are like sitting on the bed and I'm like, one moment, like I'm just going to go freshen up. So I go to the bathroom and I sniffed the poppers, and like I sniffed them way too much, and then like I got really lightheaded, and so I go back into the bedroom, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready. And he's like, oh, okay, like are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Like this is how it's supposed to feel. And so we start to try to do it, and I'm like almost on the verge of like gagging. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm getting like too lightheaded, like the room is spinning. And he's like, what did you go and do? And I was like, I'm following directions. Like I was just like all this.
Oh my
not
God.
work the way it was supposed to. So then like way later, it had to be like 2 months later or something, like we're talking about it just in conversation, and Eli's like, oh yeah, like, you know, poppers, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, they do not work. Like that's some bullshit. I was like, Jose told me to use it, and that was some bullshit. And he was like, how did you use it? And I explained it to him, and he's like, no, it's supposed to be like right before, like bedside table, like you.
Oh, I had thought that was a given.
No.
I didn't think Ryann was going to create this little picture that she had to go pop into the restroom, do them prior. And no, they were supposed to be used by both parties while in a horizontal position.
Yeah, no,
So
I'm like spraying, you know, I'm using it like
young
perfume.
ones out there.
Right, yeah.
Take note, you want to be lying down.
Okay. See, that was a very important, crucial point that I did not know. I'm thinking I'm like freshening up, like spray my perfume, sniffing the popper. Okay, I'm ready. No, that was not how it worked out. And I will say it was a user error. That was on me. But yes, so all advice that has been given to me has been good advice. It's just, again, use at your own discretion. You need to know what you're getting into.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know, we've talked so much about anal sex, but I thought, why not throw in a little bonus?
Ooh, we love a good bonus.
Let's talk about
bonus.
rimming.
Big bonus.
Yes.
Rimming.
All right. So rimming, ass licking, or analingus, if we want to use its Christian name.
Or just use Jose's tongue, obviously.
Or his big juicy lips.
Yeah. Oh, there they are.
There they are. So, or simply a rim job involves licking, penetrating with the tongue, sucking, kissing, or otherwise orally stimulating your partner's bum.
Thank you.
So despite the misconceptions out there, rimming is not merely a stop on the road to anal sex. It's a fun sexual activity in its own right that can be enjoyed by people of all gender and sexual identities.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
If they so wish. Some people might consider it the main sex act of the day, while others might view it as preparation for anal sex. It's totally up to the individual and their partner, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we got a few more steps here. What do we do first? We clean the area. So, once you've decided that rimming is something you'd like to try, it's time to prep. For both of your benefits, it's a good idea to have a thorough clean before you begin. This can be a bath or a shower or anal douching, as we talked about. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you do it. This next one. So, trim your pubic hair if you want.
Yeah.
So it says, for some reason, a lot of people who choose to trim their pubic hair seem to forget that it grows much farther than the perineum. Yeah. Most people have a hairy butthole, even if it's just a straggler or two.
Scape it all, landscape it all.
Right, but I'd be nervous to get my razor right back there. The skin around your butthole is so sensitive.
The razor.
Yeah.
We don't use the razor. We use Nair.
I know, but I haven't used Nair down there at all because we've had this. Jose and I have this conversation a lot.
A lot.
I am nervous to use Nair down there because obviously I don't want it to get into my vagina because I feel like, one, it'll burn, and two, I don't know. It's a very sensitive pH area. Have you used Nair on your vagina, Ryann?
Yeah, I've used it. It doesn't burn. I mean, I've never gotten it. Yeah, around, exactly. I've never gotten it in my vagina.
Okay.
But you can also just get
on your butthole.
Right. Yeah, on your butthole.
Have you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes, on accident,
Okay.
but it did clear out all the hair.
But it worked out great.
But it did, exactly. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was all back there. That was a surprising amount of hair. I'm just gonna be honest. Yes, most people
You
do
never
have a hairy
really
butt.
know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Until we
Even
got
myself,
our
as being like
Brazilians.
a less hairy person, I do notice. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I thought it was all smooth, but I was like, oh, there is some hair back there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have thought Jose would have hair on his butthole. Just so you guys know, between the three of us, Jose is the least hairy.
Yeah.
Just so
Yes.
to clarify.
Yes. Yes.
Just so everyone knows exactly what we're working with here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jose has very fine, very light hair and mostly no hair in a lot of places. Ow, I bit my tongue.
Yes.
And mostly no hair in a lot of places.
What were those called? Is he an otter? Right? Isn't he an otter? Like a hairless?
No.
He said
he's
no.
not an
Okay.
otter.
I'm a unicorn.
Ah!
Yes.
Of course he is. Yeah.
I'm a peacock.
Yeah. There we
You
go.
are.
He
You
really
are.
is. He
So
peacocks
extra.
very hard.
Very hard.
But
I'm a spinner.
but yeah, and he's a spinner too. Look at him. See, he wears it as a badge of honor, Morgan. You just gotta learn to it.
You know what? I'll be
lean
spinner for the
into
right
it.
person, but not for some
Ooh.
weirdo creeper at the bar who doesn't even have the courtesy to like say hello first. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay,
Right.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So, step 3, and of course, this has been included in every step. Be safe from STIs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
just general. Yeah.
Mhm.
The next one, add a flavored lube.
Ooh, yes.
So,
Oh, really?
And not
Ooh.
even
Tell
in the
us.
sense of you have to add a flavored lube. Yes, those are great. But you can also use what you have lying around at the house. You got a little honey? You have a little agave? Take a
Oh,
little
We
take a little
expensive.
quarter-sized amount
went
and
to Whole Foods.
just, massage it on. Massage it in.
Okay.
After you've, cleansed and rinsed and prepped, then, it's like a finishing touch, the cherry on top,
Literally.
cherry on your cherry.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, agave.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
know.
A little raw, organic, non-GMO certified. Really gets them going.
I love this. You can buy everything you need at Whole Foods. That's it.
Right. Yes.
That's the moral of the story.
For all your sex needs.
Right.
Whole
Right.
Foods. The next
If you haven't got
one-
it by now, I love multi-purpose items.
Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know.
He's like, I put it in my coffee. I put it on my buttholes. Like, it just depends on the day. It just depends on what I'm doing.
He said he always stays ready. So
He does stay ready. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So step number 5 is start from the outside. Remember, sex is about the journey, not the destination.
Right.
When it comes to rimming, the author of this article recommends roaming rather than setting your crack nav to the quickest route.
Oh.
Don't make a beeline for the bee hole. Explore your partner's body as much as you can in other ways to excite their mind and awaken their skin. Start with the furthest points and work your way towards the bullseye. You can use a lickable massage oil or agave and begin massaging, squeezing, licking, and kissing their bum cheeks and inner thighs. When you're ready to start getting closer to your aim, begin gently parting their cheeks so you can see their anus. For now, resist the temptation to touch it. You simply want to tease the area as close as you can with your fingers, lips, and mouth. So they're pretty much begging for it when you're done. A great tip to stimulate their actual anus without physical contact is to use your breath. Breathe warm air over their bottom as a final tease before you make contact.
Oh, okay, Morgan. You can read
Yes.
sex novels.
I'm
Yes.
practicing for my audiobook career.
Yeah.
We like it. We're here for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jose taught me about the inner thighs. He taught me about that.
I was going to say, so in that aspect, that is something that can lead to like a great sexual experience with your partner.
Ooh.
As the bottom, I love to explore that whole, the whole perineum region, the whole crotch. You want to start from the outer thighs. You want to kind of go in, and then you want to go into the creases, and then you want to come back out and around, So as I enjoy that part. When I'm being pleasured, I love it. Everything you just said. I love them working all around my big, beautiful, juicy ass.
Of course, he had to get that one in there. Yeah. Surprised he hasn't stood up and turned around for the visual.
Right? Yeah, exactly. For all the audio listeners, he needs you to know it's a good ass. Okay.
All right. So the next one is experiment. Experiment with different shapes, movement, pressure, and tongue shapes. Some people love a firm lick with a broad, flat tongue, while others need the delicate tickle of the tip of the tongue circling their opening. Everyone is different.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone is different. I tend to like more of the delicate caress. Like
I could have
the tip of the tongue.
Yes, the tip of the tongue, the light kiss, the
the breath before contact.
I love a delicate touch.
I don't. Maybe in this sense I might. I haven't done it yet, but
Morgan's like, give me the flat tongue. Ugh.
I know.
Circling it.
Are you even? I know. Yeah. Stop breathing on it and just lick it already.
Oh my god.
She really would.
I
told you she was dominant.
To each their own.
Right, there you go. To each their own. Yes, love it.
All right, so the next one, pay attention to your partner's body language.
Oh yeah.
Are they comfortable, not comfortable? Obviously,
Oh yeah.
Number 7, use your hands.
Mm-hmm.
For extra satisfying rim pleasure, playing with 2 or more erogenous zones at the same time will really heighten the pleasure. While your lips are busy with the rim job, why not use your hands to stimulate other areas of their body? Reach up for their nipples, penis, clitoris, or any other hot spot they'd like.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Multitask.
Right. And it goes on to say, if you can't reach, then tell them to do it to themselves.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly. You see, dirty talk is not just to get in the mood. It's also to give instructions, like use it to your advantage, like moans are great, but like a little higher. Like add in some directions, really give them like what you actually want instead of just like, ooh, that feels good. Unless you just want it right there. But
unless that's the spot.
Right. Say right there,
Yeah.
I've had to tell partners like, no, when I say like, stay right there, I mean it. I'm not saying it like, oh, she likes there, maybe over here. No, like follow directions.
Follow directions. Yes. Yeah. All right. The next one is find a rimming position that works for you. Popular positions include the receiver lying on their back with their legs akimbo, on their stomach with a pillow under their hips, all fours, face sitting, or on the edge of the sofa with the giver on their knees.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, the akimbo, I know what that means. It's like out, basically. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is akimbo?
Right. Do we want to? Yeah. So, okay. So the first one, lying on their back with their legs akimbo. So that's kind of like a spread eagle position.
Okay. Yeah, I love that.
You look like a chicken. Okay, Ryan's putting her arms to the side. You look like a chicken that like you're about to roast. You have to like tie it together.
Oh, yes.
She kind of
now I know what you're talking about. Okay.
She needs to do more of a V. Your legs would be like, right? Unless your legs are like, I don't know.
Well, but I told you when you bend them, I know when you bend them, that
when
feels
you're bending
better.
them. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. The next one was on their stomach with a pillow under their hips.
Yeah.
So you're laying on your stomach, pillow under your hips. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On all
better
fours.
Angle. better angle.
At an angle. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
With the knees
yeah.
bent underneath you.
Right.
Stretched out.
The next one is all fours. So you're on all fours.
I still haven't had a doggy style experience that I liked, but I'll defer to Jose on this one. Do you like doggy style?
There's a time and a place. It's not generally my go-to.
Okay.
I'm more of a fan of the, like, how we were just talking about, like with the pillow under your hips, and then having my partner like kind of half laying on top of me, half, movement. That's generally one of my go-tos. I find it most pleasurable.
Yes.
I also love to feel like the weight of a man on me.
Same.
While
Is this
that's
during
happening.
anal sex or is this during a rim job?
This could be both. Yeah.
I was gonna
I like it. I like it in general. I like it in all aspects of sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Multi-purpose again.
The next one was face sitting.
Ooh, why not?
Yes and no.
Can you elaborate?
Face sitting, although I have very strong quads, takes a bit of energy.
Yes.
And one having to hold that up, and then they want to participate in other sexual positions that I'm also going to need to have some like
energy
thigh
core
and core strength,
Yeah.
I've noticed that if I do something like, let's say, the face sitting, that's going to take a bit, of energy from my thighs, and then they're going to be shaking later when I'm trying to enjoy another position. And so I find I have to balance it out,
Right.
So generally I'm not the one who's doing, I'm not like let me sit on your face kind of guy. I never really have been.
Playing the long game,
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm playing the long game. I like longevity in my sexual experiences.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay. And the last one was on the edge of the sofa while the giver is on their knees.
So that sounds like for a rim job, right?
Yeah, these are all for rim jobs.
Oh, these all were. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh, okay. But yes, yeah, that one sounds most like actually my new me and my new partner's new sex position we found on a small sofa of ours. It's the perfect height for doggy style.
Which
Remind
sofa
me
is that?
not
I
to
just need to
sit
know
on
for
that.
next time I visit. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not telling you which sofa it is.
You said it's a small one, so I know it's not the one in your living room.
It's not. God damn it! It's the one in the library, but
library.
But it's the perfect height. But this makes sense for stuff like this as well, because instead of like straining to like have your ass in the air high enough or be like low enough to like be at the ass level, this makes sense because it's like the couch is gonna like lift you up a little bit,
right?
And then they're gonna be on their knees, so it's almost like you meet at the perfect distance, So that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it says really you can experiment to find what works best for you both.
Right.
Correct.
If you feel like advancing analingus further, bringing toys like a spreader bar, sex swing, or position enhancers can be great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use like a yoga block.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What else can we buy at Whole Foods that would work for this?
A lot.
The last one is try using sex toys.
Yeah.
So, along with your rim job, anal sex toys are a great next step once you're comfortable with rimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Some variety. Some multitasking.
The multitasking. Yeah, I love sex toys. I think they're super important. I never bought many like self-pleasure sex toys myself. Just because I never found one that actually mimicked like something that I liked being done to me. But I will say, with anal sex, I think they're super important, especially if you're just starting out or you just like toys. Like some people just genuinely like toys. That's like a kink of theirs, like they want to use toys. So I am trying to remember that. And we got one actually from Amsterdam because, we had to get a sex toy from Amsterdam.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yes, and I got a butt plug. It's super cute, and
Love it.
it's so cute. But it's made out of steel, but it's like really high quality steel. And so it always feels good when the lube is on it because it's like nice and cold usually, like it stays cold, and it just feels wonderful. And I think it does a lot for that sphincter. Like it really like kind of like that cold kind of feels really good and not numbs it, but you know, it's like it kind of mimics like numbing or something, you know, like where it's kind of cold, like if you put ice on your ankle or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it's hot. I like it a lot.
Well, so I happened upon this sex toy website this month, and the first thing that came up was that August is anal sex toy month.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yes.
all things coming together for this episode. I just wanted to mention that. It was adamandeve.com if
Yeah.
anyone wants to go check it out because they're having a sale.
they're always having a sale.
They are. I
Don't
mean,
sign up for their emails. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! If
Oh, yeah,
anybody
they're gonna
comes
blow
past
your
my
shit up.
phone,
right.
no beads on sale, 50% off. Like Jesus, can you start with the
Adam and
50% off so it doesn't like pop up in my notifications?
I want
Right.
to say I want to say Adam and Eve is where I bought my like silicone douche, and that, I want to say that's where when we were in Seattle all together. I'm pretty sure that's when I purchased Ryann hers.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think you did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I did. Mhm.
We've been together through so much.
Through so much. Well, that wraps it up, guys. So the big question, are we doing this wrong?
I'm definitely not.
Yes.
I would say that I started off doing it wrong,
Mhm.
you know, but as time permits, I learned exactly what I liked and how to get that, how to achieve that,
Yeah.
and you know, I keep that that expectation, set that bar high, and if you're not going to meet it, we're not going to play.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Wise words.
Yes. Okay, so what would your number one piece of advice be if someone hasn't had anal sex yet and would like to? What is your top piece of advice? Obviously, we've covered a ton of things, so they can listen to the whole episode for some insight. But what's the one thing you would say?
I would say, well, there's kind of like two things. For one, play with yourself first. Play with yourself first so that you feel comfortable with it initially.
Okay.
And secondly, or like part two of that, is a really big key factor of that, like open communication with the other partner, you know. It would probably be so much more, you know, comfortable if you are participating with somebody that you have more than just like this one night hookup type of deal going on. That sense of security and comfortability like really can play a key factor into your experience and how you experience it when you're new to it.
Okay.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah.
That's great advice. Love that.
I mean, in my younger years, that second part meant nothing. I was like,
I
what?
know.
Get to know someone.
That's why I'm saying this now. I'm like, for all you listeners out there who are new to this, who are curious, who are willing though, like, you know, make sure that you trust yourself and you trust the person that you're with.
Yes. Ooh. Yes. Love that. Okay.
Awesome. Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jose.
You're most
for
welcome.
making your Am I Doing This Wrong debut. We've talked about you enough. I feel like the people probably know you, but now they get to see you and hear you and all of your great advice about anal sex.
Yes.
So, wins all around.
It is. I know.
Thank you guys for having me so much. This is so exciting. I love it. And I love you guys.
Oh, yes. We love you too. And he's also a medical professional. So he just has a lot of good advice in general. But this episode seemed appropriate to bring him on.
Yes.
This obviously will not be the last time you see Jose, guys. He'll be back, and we may or may not let him do the
people want the expose.
We may or may not. We'll see how we feel.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're not even gonna take a poll. It's based on me and this person right here, just us.
Take a poll. Take a poll.
You know what? We will do a poll this week on anal sex, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we would love to know
Please.
about your guys' experience or your questions.
Mhm.
If you want to reach out to us, please do at our email, wrongthepodcast@gmail.com,
Mhm.
or slide into our DMs on Instagram at
Ooh.
wrongthepodcast. Or if you have questions for Jose or you want his number, just let us know.
Let us know. Single and
Other-
thriving.
There you go.
Yes.
So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And please check us out on YouTube for the visual conversation and to see Jose's beautiful face. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up, and we will talk to you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.